Hey there, and welcome to the SBVC Centennial Podcast. My name is Thomas Robles, and I am a proud alumnus here at SBVC. This podcast is part of SBVC's Centennial Celebration. Each episode, we will highlight the people that make SBVC way more than just a college. We'll talk to alumni, faculty, staff, local leaders, and community partners about how this campus opened doors, built careers, and inspired generations. Welcome to the SBVC Centennial Podcast, where we celebrate 100 years of stories here at San Bernardino Valley College. Good morning, my name is Thomas Robles, and welcome back to the SBVC Centennial Podcast. On this Centennial episode, we have the honor of welcoming an alum whose journey embodies everything San Bernardino Valley College stands for. Mariana Lapizco came to SBVC searching for direction, and she found her passion in film right here on our campus, and she transformed that passion into award-winning work that gives voice to immigrant communities, native storytellers, and Inland Empire residents whose experiences often go unheard. From Valley Bound to commencement speaker to Emmy Award winner, Mariana represents resilience and creativity at its finest. Mariana, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing amazing. It's such an honor, and I'm so humbled to be here. It's always awesome to be a part of SBVC and its history and of the community as well. So truly humble and honored to be here and be a part of the podcast, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Of course. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that we're friends. We're acquainted.
We're homies.
Yeah, we're homies. But tell me, what was it like coming to? You said you went to a local high school, correct?
Yeah, I went to Cajon High School. Yeah.
And then you transferred here. Was there anything that you were affiliated with at all when you were coming over?
So you know what, I was always moving around since I was a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Between Mexico, Arizona, then California, then now I'm in California for good. So when I graduated from high school, I didn't know much about the resources, organizations. I was still a little bit naive on that sense because I came from Mexico. It works different out there. But when I got here to Valley College, I got into the Valley Bound commitment program, and that allowed me to know more about my community that I live in, as well as resources that are offered. I'm a first gen, so it definitely helped me how to navigate college because I had no clue how to do it. My mom has a language barrier, and I'm an only child, so I had no blueprint. So I kind of have to start from scratch. But because of resources like the Valley Bound that got me connected to other resources, I've been able to succeed in my higher education as well as help others how to navigate college as a first-generation college student.
Sure. And now you've since graduated. What are you doing now?
I am working at KVCR Public Media, which is a PBS affiliate and NPR affiliate. We also have FNX, First Nations Experience, which is the Native American and World Indigenous content broadcast, and then newly streaming apps. So right now I'm navigating out of the streaming services. So think about it I'm quoting other folks that have been naming it as like native Netflix. Awesome. Learning all that sides, as a film student, I learned all the way from pre-production to post-production, and now going into the streaming app, I'm learning more about the distribution. So, and I know that's serving a purpose and for future endeavors. Because my big aspiration and goals is to become a director, and I think this is the foundation for that.
You came to SBVC through the Valley Bound Commitment Program back in 2017?
2017, yes.
Originally as a business major, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who was Mariana then, and what did she hope for when she stepped onto campus?
Man,
what was it like to be a high school student and then going oh my gosh, you're first gen. I'm at a community college. Now what?
At the moment, I didn't realize the first gen. I think it was introduced later to that term. But I definitely knew I was the first one in my family to go to college. My grandma only finished third grade. My mom went all the way to high school. So I knew then I was full of curiosity. I've always been a really curious person and eager to learn and grasp information. And so at the time, I just wanted a better future for myself and for my family. And that's all I knew. Coming out of high school, I I wanted to do music. I come from a background of my great grandparents making music, and I sing. I sing in Spanish. I sing like mariachi music and regional Mexican music. And so my dreams then were to study music. However, I had a conversation with my mom's brother, who he has been like a father figure for me, and he said, "You know what? You should do business. You should do maybe business, and then maybe transition into music afterwards, because you know sometimes in families like Latino families, they've never seen a career made out of the arts, and it's sometimes I know it's hard, and I don't blame them. It's hard to believe in more than the eye can meet, you know, because it's never been done before. There's no blueprint, and so at the time I was like, okay, business is gonna give me money. I had no really sense of direction what I was going to do with business. At the time, I knew that, you know what, let me learn a third language. I took some classes for Arabic, and my plans then were to, when I transfer out, I was going to do international business. I've always been so inclined to learn about different cultures. So in the international meant that I was going to be able to be involved in different cultures and travel and all that, which is like our big passions of mine. So at the time, those were my plans, but I've always been inclined into the arts and music and film. I've been introduced I used to watch all these VHS films and the golden era of Mexican cinema with my great-grandparents. And so now I'm connecting the dots. Now in the present moment, I'm like, oh, it's always been there. I just didn't know how to approach it. I didn't know what was the path to take to get here. And then just things started coming eventually. Because of Valley College and people that I've met here.
That's so interesting. And it's just because somebody encouraged you, a friend, a faculty, just to try something new. And now you're an award winner. You're now coordinating your own film festival. Please talk to me about that.
Yeah, you know, like I said, once you start following that passion, you start meeting people that are meant to be in your path. I met my friends who are doing this film festival called AF Film Festival. So it's a women's film festival that's rooted here in the Inland Empire. There's many of those in LA. Brandon and I went to a film festival in LA from one of my friends who she hosts in LA. And we were like, you know what if we did it in the Inland Empire? We have nothing like that. Let's do that. And so giving a voice to women's filmmaker, you know, the film industry, it's dominated by male. And so we wanted to make it, you know, where we empower and uplift women filmmakers and encourage them to let them know that it's possible and create a platform for them to showcase their work. And it's coming up soon. We're super excited that we're getting a lot of support from the people that we've worked with, different organizations that we've been involved with. So it's like a dream come true. Just another part of the journey. We hope to, you know, be as big as Sundance Film Festival, Women's Film Festival. And then we want to put the Inland Empire out there. So it's like the big picture is like, you know, International Women's Film Festival, but rooted here in the Inland Empire. Because there's so much beauty, there's so much talent here in the Inland Empire that we want to showcase that. Not just women's filmmakers, but as well people who are rooted here in the Inland Empire and what we have, and make our voices heard.
At KVCR, which you're currently working, right? Full-time?
I'm a contractor there.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a contractor there. So I work at KVCR, and you know, we have FNX, PVS, and NPR radio. However, I also get projects outside of this. So it gives me that flexibility to work here, as well as to work on outside projects and personal projects as well.
Sure. When you started at KVCR, you were translating scripts, correct?
Yeah, I was doing many things, wearing many hats.
You did everything.
I did everything. I think that's one of the beautiful things about KVCR, that they immerse us, the interns, in all the different aspects of radio, television, and letting us explore. They taught us about radio, voiceovers, being on camera, being behind the camera, all the aspects. And I think it's one of the things that I love. I don't like to fit myself in one box. I love to learn everything. I'm like, let me learn everything and see what I like. And I always say that when you're in a leading position, such as a producer or a director, I think the director and the producer should know a little bit of everything in order to how to lead the team. So I think that's one of the purposes too for me to learn all the aspects of production and the behind the scenes, because I want to be able to best serve the team that I'm with and that I'm working with. And yeah, so we experience a lot of things, but translating scripts was one of them. We have a show that's called Learn With Me. It's in Spanish and English to teach kids how to speak Spanish and be bilingual. We have a big Latino community here in the Inland Empire. And so, yeah, that was one of my tasks that I had, and I enjoyed it so much because I'm like, oh yeah, this is my native language.
But going from there, and then you're producing an Emmy-winning documentary, The Warehouse Empire, correct?
The Warehouse Empire, yes.
What moments during that journey showed you that the power of film can create change?
I've always known that, film and television, it's a huge platform in order to create a message. For me, filmmaking, it's always been about creating with purpose. How can we make a change? How can we create awareness? How can we help others? How can we inform others? And so I knew then that, we can convey that in film. We live in a world of technology and people are watching. And so giving that to people, it's like, okay, this is how we make a change, but doing with a purpose. While I was in the Valley Bound Commitment, I've always involved in environmental justice groups and organizations that dealt with warehousing. So I've always been an advocate for environmental justice and the warehouse development here in the Inland Empire. And so working on that project, it was combining my passion for advocacy with my passion of film and television. So it was like my worlds were colliding. It was funny because a lot of the people that we interview on the Warehouse Empire, it was people that I had worked with before. We were like, what? And they're like, oh my God, you're here. And then so just being able to mix those things was amazing because it's like the best of both worlds. And, creating a message for, PBS is like you have to do the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we're still putting out the message and informing people and what the thing is. So, yeah, I think utilizing a platform like film and television creates space for change and inform the community.
Sure. And so when it came to The Warehouse Empire, with your Emmy award-winning documentary, you brought the Emmy with you today, correct?
I did.
Would you mind showing the camera?
I did.
How cool it is? A Valley College student wins this huge, amazing... I know. Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk? That is
little 5-year-old me's like, what? This is actually happening?
Yeah.
And it's actually happened?
But to those that are watching, that can be you. Just because...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
this can be all of us.
All of us at the same. This is for us. This Emmy is for all of us.
I think that's one of the things that happens when somebody in the community does it. It's like it creates a space for others to do. It's like it's been done, guys. Come on, like we can all do it, and we can all help each other and uplift each other to get there.
I completely agree. You were the 2024 commencement speaker here at Valley College. Representing students during SBVC's Centennial Year now, what did you want your classmates, families, and community to feel when you were in that commencement moment?
Like everybody belongs. I wanted them to feel that everybody belongs when I did that speech, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different places, and I wanted them to know that no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, we are all here. This is an accomplishment that we're all like living together, and it's possible to make your dreams come true, to get access to higher education. Also, sometimes a lot of us think that we're in a race of accomplishing. Sometimes we think we're late, and I know I mentioned it in my speech. Is like, you're not behind, you're not ahead, you're just on time because you're on your own time. We each have our journey, we each have our trajectory, our different backgrounds, our different circumstances, and everything happens for a reason. Again, it always goes back to that. And so I just wanted also people to feel proud of who they are and where they come from, because I think a lot of the times we're afraid to say where we are from, the experiences that we lived. And so I just wanted people to be proud of who they are in every aspect, and having them feel a sense of belonging and accomplishment, and strive for more of that, because we belong, and we are so we have to take up space in order to keep moving forward and continuing to accomplish our dreams. For me, it was an honor to like share my story and have that platform in order to empower others as well.
What do you hope people understand about where you come from and what SBVC represents in those rooms?
Man, SBBC is a gem, honestly. It's like it's a safe space for me. It's where the first time I felt that sense of belonging. And I don't want to cry, but it's SBBC is definitely my second home. And I think sitting in those tables, like, that belief for myself just grows even more. And then seeing that all the hardship and everything that I've gone through has not gotten unnoticed, and I remember for both of those opportunity, Angel Rodriguez from District called me, or he texted me, because we're also homies.
He's a good
guy. He's the guy. And I remember both times that I got it, I was like, wow, they're picking me. And I was just sometimes you're so in disbelief that, like, oh my God, like, they know my name, or like they know what I'm doing, and they're actually like seeing. Sometimes you're just going and doing things, and sometimes you don't stop to smell the flowers at those stages, because both of those, the first one for the Gates Foundation was to advocate for economic mobility for the Inland Empire, and the vice president was to talk about issues that are going on in different colleges across the United States. And so I'm not only advocating for myself, but I'm advocating for others as well. There's sometimes issues that don't affect me, and that's a privilege, and I recognize that. So I hear my peers out and say, hey, this also is going on with these other different groups or these other different situations. So it's not just advocating for the issues that affect me, but also with those that affect others. And so I think having that platform, it's what makes it change. And SBBC has been a great resource and a great support system in order to not only get help for myself, but for others as well.
Wow. I have, Mariana, one more question for you. SBVC to you is what?
SBVC, like I said, it's a gem. It's a safe space. It's a home where you feel that sense of belonging. And SBVC also is, and I still stand by this, where you definitely come with a dream and leave with a future. I love seeing those signs around campus, because every time I see them, I'm like, that is so true. And everybody who says different is wrong. And, I'm going to end with the same. A lot of people have this stigma about community colleges, that, if you go to community college, because I remember when I was in high school, hearing about, if you go to community college, then it's like not a good thing. You have to go to a 4-year university in order to get opportunities, in order to do this and that. But I feel like people just need to experience, like, not just community college, but they need to experience SBBC. It's such a great campus, the people, the students, the faculty. It's a community who comes together and wants to see each other succeed. There's no excuse not to succeed. It's all here. You come with a dream and you live with the future.
With that being said, I'll go ahead and end here. Everybody, thank you so much for participating in our podcast today. Once again, my name is Thomas Robles. This is the SBVC Centennial Podcast. Valley up. Take care.